listening to New Roads, New Rules, the podcast where women come together to navigate life's big transitions with honesty, humor, and a whole lot of heart. Here are your hosts, Sandi and Terri. Real women, real talk, and ready to ride.
But you're my bestie for life. Yeah, you're the family I choose. Yeah, the best till the end. We can get through this together.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back. Hi, Sandi.
Hey, Ter, how are you?
I'm good. Everything's great. You know,
I know.
It's good.
Things are going well. I know. It's summer. Everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy when it's summer.
Sure.
So let's just jump in today. Today's topic is nobody's coming to save you, and that's actually great news. I just want to talk about if have you ever caught yourself like in your own little waiting room of your making, like you not actually in a waiting room, but like let's hypothetically talk here. You built a waiting room, put your own chair in it, you put up the sign waiting, and you just waited. Like, for instance, waiting for someone else's permission to do what you already wanted to do. Like, for me, it was in my marriage. Like, I was always waiting around. Like, I knew I wanted to travel more, or I wanted to do this. And I was waiting for permission from my ex, and it never came. And so I never did these things and whatever. But I was always waiting to be able to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think we all do that. You know, there's so many examples of that. And the other part of this is like waiting for someone to notice when you're drowning, right? Like, I feel like if we're talking about our marriages, let me just say, like, there were definitely times when I was like, okay, I'm working outside of the home. I'm gone. You know, it took me an hour to get to and from work each way.
Right.
So 2 hours added to the 8 hours. And sometimes I stayed late. So 10 to 12 hours a day, I was away from the house. And then I would come home and then I would, do stuff, pick up dinner, take my daughter to dance, run around, just do all the running around.
Right.
And I remember thinking, oh, well, it's not going unnoticed, right? Like, right. I am just, somebody, my husband maybe, might notice that I'm killing myself over here and be a little appreciative of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the fact is that I wasn't doing it for him. I was doing it for the family, my family, and I felt good about that. But also, the appreciation never really came. It then just became like, you felt taken for granted then. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, now, she's just going to do that. So
it's your job now. Right.
Cool.
Right.
Right. Even though, and then the balance gets off. And I do think like there were definitely, it wasn't always like this. Right. So I'm not trying to complain. Like I was with my husband for 30 years. So I'm not saying we had all this bad time, but I definitely remember feeling, and I think we could say this in any relationship, like feeling like I was giving a lot and the balance was off. And
right. Which happens not only in marriage, but even in friendships.
But that's what I mean. You could say that about you could say that at work. You know what I mean? Like there are definitely times when I'm trying to give my best. And again, there were times when I didn't give my best. Right. So I don't want to feel, this is not I'm not just trying to say like, oh, this is one-sided, I'm always great, blah, blah, blah. That's not what this is. But there are times, I think, as women where we feel like we shoulder everything and then it's not being noticed. And the fact is, a lot of times it's not.
Right. I mean, if we're honest, like, what is the story you told yourself about why you're waiting? Or was it because you were patient? Was it out of practicality? Or was it something you were too scared to name out loud or do? Or why? Do you think,
I don't know.
What do we tell ourselves? I mean,
we tell ourselves this is how it is. Like
this is how it is, right? You know, how many times I know I did hear it and I hear it because I'm sometimes impatient, like I want something, I like want it to start now. Like, I want it to grow. I want the business to grow. I want this to happen. But good things come to those who wait. Patience is a virtue. But I think
all that good stuff.
All the good stuff. Like, but I feel like patience can also be avoidance in disguise. Like, oh,
no,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
I'll be patient. He'll, when the kids get bigger, he'll want to do more. I'll be patient and wait. And it never came. Right. Like looking for, and me as well. Like, I handled everything in there, like, and whatever. And so it's like, I'll be patient, he'll realize maybe for my birthday, then we'll do something. And it didn't happen, like things like that. Or the not yet.
Agree.
Wait until the kids are grown up and, wait until I lose that weight, or wait, like, so having the patience to wait sometimes is our scapegoat.
Right, exactly. But also the patience for what reason, right? So like you're hitting it on the head, because it's like, am I being patient just because I don't want to have that hard conversation right now? Or am I being patient because I know that the gratitude will come, or that the vacation will come, or the whole, maybe I will get a surprise for my birthday and we'll do something, you know what I mean?
Right.
There's a lot that goes through that. And it's just all very like, we would almost need a therapist to break it down.
Yeah. Yes. Anybody, a therapist out there that wants to come on? I mean, man.
Yes. Please reach out. We need some.
Please reach out. Exactly. Okay, guys, before we go any further, Deutsch snacking dough, edible cookie dough. Yes, that's real. Yes, I've eaten it straight from the container with a spoon like a fully unbothered woman I am becoming. And no, I don't feel bad about it. We're over here talking about stop waiting to live your life, and Deutsch said the same thing, but about dessert. No baking, no waiting, just eating the dough and move on with your day like the evolved human that you've become. Deutschfoods.com. That's DOICHFOODS.com. Our code is NRNR20 and you get 20% off, guys. Take advantage of it. Stop waiting. Eat the dough. We'll be here when you get back.
So let's talk about like when the moment shifts, right? Like when we have to stop expecting.
Right. The turning point, where it rarely looks like a movie moment. It's usually quiet, something small, a conversation, a realization at 2 a.m. But it's the moment that you stop outsourcing your life and start owning it, right? And nothing's the same after that. Once you take ownership of it, nothing's the same, right?
No, 100%. I totally agree. So let me just ask you a question. Like, what was the thing that cracked it open for you? Like a moment, a conversation, a crisis, a realization? Like, what was your moment?
I've had so many. I guess the recent would be, I always talk about my ex-husband, so let's not talk about him. But there was a guy I was dating, right? And there was a moment that cracked it open. Like, he and my son did not have the same outlook on things, and he had come home and my son was there watching TV, and the guy decided to like get into this debate, but it was more of an argument with my son over whatever the topic was that it was, not getting into anything deep here. But that was the moment, because I went out there and he was yelling at my kid, even though he's an adult. My kid was very calm, cool, and collected in handling everything, but he's yelling at my kid and I'm just like, hey, knock it off. Like,
hey,
you don't agree. What are you doing?
Right.
And it was like, oh, sorry, Terri. Yeah, I was wrong. And I turned around and walk away, and he went back in and started up again. That was the moment. I'm like, we're done. Like, we're done. Like, so that was one of them that cracked it open for me. Like, I'm done. I don't have the patience for this.
So, and, I just have to add to that too, because we always do talk about our ex-husbands, and it's so hard though for me, because that's the only person, for 30 years that I was with. But I do think, though, that when I was in it, I wasn't recognizing the things.
Right.
Because now, after when all of this kind of exploded, I sat back and thought, oh my gosh, remember that time when I had to take an Uber from the hospital with a broken leg on crutches to my mother's house because, I didn't have anybody to pick me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I'm like, I thought it was normal. I was like, yeah, I could do anything by myself. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like, I think I went into, here's the thing. I think I went into a mode during that time where I was like, okay, fine. I could do this all by myself. And that's that. And I got super stubborn because I'm a Taurus, and I got super like, in the zone. And I did start just kind of doing for myself. And by the way, that contributed to the end of the marriage, because that was one of the things. He's like, you don't need me for anything. So what are we doing? You know what I mean? Right. So it actually did way more harm than good.
Right. Right.
But in my mind, I thought I was doing the right thing. I was like, oh yeah, no, if I'm not going to get the support or the help or whatever, then I'm just going to do everything myself.
Right.
It's easier. It's just easier. And
because you don't want to argue it about it.
Yes.
Like you're trying to avoid the argument about it. I did the same thing with my marriage. I'll just do it myself and handle it.
But I do, and I do it with everything, not just the marriage, but that's how I.
Right. I mean, no kidding. Like, I was in the same situation, like with my marriage. Like, it was, I was handling 2 little kids, and then my mom, who was going through cancer treatments, and handling all of it and asking for help. Why? You went last week. Why do I need to do anything? Oh, I don't know.
Right.
Just because I need some help, But so what do we actually do with it? Like, what would you tell a woman who's still in the waiting room right now, Sandi? Like, not a pep talk or anything, but what kind of advice would you give the woman who's sitting in her own waiting room?
Right. So now that I know better, I would try to express to recognize the things that she could do to not get stuck there anymore, to make a move, to change her circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right.
And what does that look like? I mean, I don't know. It depends on the circumstance. I don't want to keep talking about divorce and breakups because that's where we're coming from. But it could be anything. And if you recognize the signs and you have your feelings about it, like I also would say, don't stuff those feelings down. If you feel in your gut something's wrong, something's wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because not wrong, but like, that person, if that person isn't going to come and help you out, they're not coming for you. You gain your own independence. And honestly, I do feel, there's been a lot of sadness, but I do feel more liberated and more independent than I've ever felt. And it's because I started to realize, well, not only what I did wrong in all of the drama, but also like how I would do it differently. Not that I would go into another relationship, but like even with my friendships, you know what I mean?
Right.
Even with my family, I just want to approach everything with honesty and explain my expectations. That was also something. Don't stay silent.
Right.
Yes, I always thought communicating what I needed was a weakness.
Right.
I don't know where it came from, but that's how I approached everything.
Right.
And so, but now I know, after everybody showed up for me during one of the hardest times in my life, now I know that that's not a weakness. Saying you need help is not a weakness, Right.
No. And, a lot of women are great at showing up for everyone else, but they're terrible for showing up for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not an independence problem. It's almost a problem being accountable to yourself, because independence is what you do without needing others. It's something you do on your own. But being accountable to yourself, that's when you keep your promises to yourself. whether somebody's watching you or paying attention to you or not. You know, like if you need that time to yourself, you take that time for yourself. And that's not being independent. That's just being accountable to yourself, you know?
Right. And it's about explaining to those that maybe that would affect.
Right.
That this is what I need, or else I'm not going to be myself. You know what I mean? And I think communication is a big part of this.
It is completely a big part of it. You have to have, whether it's your romantic partner or a friend or a coworker, you have to have those conversations, like, so that way it's not unbalanced. And, because again, even in work situations, and you've got a group project and you're doing it all, you can't be upset with the rest of them because you're doing it all. Like, oh, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. Trying to handle everything.
You put yourself You put yourself in that situation.
You put yourself in this.
I've done that.
Right. And then you have resentment for them because you're like, they're not even working for it. And then the boss is like, wow, great job, guys. What do you mean? Like, I did it all, So you have to be accountable for yourself.
I agree so much. And, I do think, like, again, that's part of communication too. Like, I'll do this much, but you guys can do this much. And you might be proud of the work you did. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you're automatically going to be resentful of these others, and they didn't even have a chance. Right.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, and I think that's the best way you can get yourself out of the waiting room is being accountable to you.
Yeah.
And standing up
what
for
you.
you.
What would you say about, let's talk about, like, standing up for yourself and, like, being who you really are and communicating that, because what would you say to people who actually don't love the real you, the new you? Like, what would you say?
Well, the new me, because after, again, not to, harp on divorce, but that was a big changing point in our lives, right? So the new me, and I have done this, like, they don't love the new me, then I don't need you in my life, like, basically, I mean, I'm going to be blunt, this is me. I'm not doing anything to harm you. I'm not doing anything to put you down. You might not like me because I'm not doing everything for you anymore. And I'm standing up for myself, in a respectful way. But if you don't like it,
yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we got to that point. I think when you're in it, so, like, if I was in the marriage and my husband isn't liking the person I became or am becoming, it's going to be hard to just say, okay, like, I wouldn't just say, and I didn't just say, okay, I think we should call this quits. Right. And I never would have, which is also a problem. Right. Because I recognize the signs, and that he did as well. It's just that he was the brave one to pull the trigger, I guess, is the way to say it. I don't know. Let's give him a little credit for that.
Right. Well, I mean, I guess that's where we're different, because I'm the one who pulled the trigger in my marriage. I was the one who said, yeah, I'm done with this. Like, this is not happening. So I don't know, like, that side of it, like your side, like, so yeah.
But I think even if I'm sitting in this situation and I know that this isn't right, or he's not loving the person I'm becoming, I'm not loving the person he's becoming, I would take it personally. So you have to almost imagine, and this is good advice for anyone in the same situation, is that it's not a verdict on you, right? Like, it is not a judgment on you if you guys are outgrowing each other. But it is how you handle it, I suppose, is what we have to get to, right? Right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're recognizing that this situation, again, it could apply to a marriage or a romantic one or a friendship one. If it's not working out, communication is the best. Yeah. I think, as far as, like, getting out of the waiting room, it's more so standing up for yourself, speaking up for yourself in a respectful way. So you're not just sitting there waiting to see if it gets better, to see it.
Yeah. So I guess I hear what you're saying. So I think there has to be a lot of self-trust when you have, when you get there, when you're
Right.
sitting, you recognize you're in the waiting room, and you're like, you almost have to trust yourself and kind of ignore all the judgment that will come along with whatever move you make next,
Right.
And I think that's a hard thing to do as well, but I think that's going to be key to get out of the waiting room.
Right. Do you think it's almost an age thing as well? Because it took me till I was, I've been divorced now since 2026. So 6 years, because my divorce went through.
2026. Oh.
Yeah. So,
okay.
yeah.
I was
So
like, it is 2026.
Right. No, I'm like, I got divorced in 2020. So,
Right.
but, and all of that. So I was, 50, whatever. So, I mean, when you're younger, and I speaking for myself, I was always more concerned about how it would look to others, how
Yes.
others would perceive it, and I think that's almost an age and a maturity thing.
Yeah.
Where I obviously didn't say I went along with it. People are like, I don't understand why you didn't leave him. Why did you put up with it? I can't believe you, Terri. Like the way, you're so strong and you're so
Right.
blah, blah. But I was always afraid, or I didn't realize he was like that. No, because I always made it look good, because I was
Right.
always afraid about how it would look to other people. So I
Right.
wonder if it's partially, the maturity level. Not to say that, you're 30 and you're in a bad relationship means you're too immature or whatever. But I think at that age, you're more concerned about what other people, like you're not like your perfect neighbors next door kind of thing,
Right, exactly. No, I definitely think we're more concerned about what others think when we're younger. But I do also, looking at the younger generation these days, I don't see any of them sticking in a marriage that they're
Right.
not happy in, because I think they're going to be faster to pull the trigger than our generation, just to be fair. But
No, that's true.
I do think we care less about what people think, because, I don't. Yeah,
I
and
don't
I love
care.
it. That,
I
speaking
know.
of liberating, that's like
I
the
know.
most liberating thing, right?
I know. Growing up when we were younger and we'd see the older people just say what they want and everything, and you're just like, oh, they're crazy bitch.
Right.
And now I am the crazy bitch.
I like being
care.
the crazy bitch.
I know.
Let's just do it. Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, let me tell you the rule of the week this week.
And now it's time for the rule of the week.
You're not waiting for the right time. You're waiting for the right you. Well, guess what? She is ready. She is very ready.
Yeah, she has been ready. She was ready last year. She was ready before the doubt crept in.
Yes.
Before the timing felt wrong. Before someone made her feel like she needed to earn her own life.
Yes.
That
Yes.
feeling. The version of you that's been waiting to show up, she's not coming someday. She's standing right in front of you. So let her go.
Let her go, guys. Just let her go. Sandi, tell them what they're doing this week. What's their turn?
It's your turn. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay, so your turn. This week, name the waiting room you built for yourself. What were you waiting for? What's one small thing you can do this week instead of waiting? Drop it in the community. You know what I mean? The Brody
yes.
Lounge. Or hit us up on any of our socials. We want to hear from you.
Yes. Like what? Yeah. Where are you waiting and how are you leaving that waiting room? Like, get out of there. Just get out of there,
Yeah,
right?
get out of there. Yeah, I mean, if you could
Life's too
hear
short.
our horror story, life is too short. Don't wait till you're our age to do it.
Right. Life is too short. Don't hold off on doing things because you're in that waiting room just waiting for something else to happen. So, absolutely.
Well, this was a fun episode. Thank you, Terri.
Oh, it's fun. I think it's a good one. Everybody thinks about it, so let's talk about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And
All
if you guys have ideas on new topics, don't forget to send us a message or go on.
We've got a couple new ones
Brody
that we're
Lounge.
trying to work out, so that'll be good.
So thanks for those. We're working on them now.
Yes. All right, guys, you have a great week. Sandi, you too.
You too. Have a good one.
But you're my bestie for life.